All right, folks, we're going to get you guys ready for manufacturing of your desktop organizer or game console. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have your, just like when we were milling, your tool library and your post processor for the ShopBot. So first go to Schoology and download the two files that I put into the assignment desktop organizer. The first is ShopBot 2 CPS. Go ahead and download that to your downloads folder. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. And then also the ShopBot tools, whsshopbot.tools. Go ahead and download that. Once those are in your downloads folder, go to Fusion, open up your project, make sure that everything is organized so that you have components that are not in your assembly. If you don't, call me over and then we can fix that before you move ahead. So before we start laying this out for manufacture, you're going to want to have a sketch that is equal to the size of the material that I'm giving you on the ShopBot. So make a sketch. You can do this at the assembly level. Make a sketch. Pick, really it doesn't matter what plane. I'm going to pick the front plane. And you're going to make a rectangle that is 24 wide by 32. Why did I put in 23? 32 tall. Okay. Go ahead and finish that sketch. This is going to become the plane that we put all of our pieces onto, and it's going to automatically arrange those for us. Okay. So you're going to go up to, I think it's modify, yep, and click on the word arrange. Go on to your left-hand side, and you're only going to pick, so where it says components, you're only going to select the components that you are going to manufacture. So think about it. Only the stuff that the ShopBot's going to cut. So that would not include the PS4 controller for me, or anything else that you might have that you created as like objects that might be stored. So for me, I'm going to cut an arm. I'm going to cut a second arm, the base, and the head. So you'll notice that they start to populate inside my components window. All right. Once you have all of them selected, I have 4 parts that I'm going to cut. Then go to the envelopes tab, and then you're going to move this window over a little bit. Then you're going to click on the sketch that you created that represents the 32 by 24 laser, or not laser, but ShopBot. Click it. Wait just a moment, and then you'll see that each of the pieces has been laid out onto that sheet. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. So down here where it says spacing, it says frame width and object spacing. So the object spacing, since we're using a 1/4 inch tool, think about how much space we're going to need in between as the 1/4 inch tool cuts. We're going to leave that at 0.6 because as it's contouring around these, we need to allow enough space for the webbing so that our material doesn't come up. So leave the numbers for frame width as 1/4 inch. Frame width is how much gap there is between when it lays your parts out and the edge of the material. And then the object spacing is how much space it allows in between the parts. Okay. If it doesn't fit, if not all of your pieces show up, call me over. That might mean that you designed too much stuff and it doesn't fit in the 24 by 32 space. Or there might be another issue that I can kind of help you with. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. Give it a moment. If you have any pockets, make sure the pockets are facing the same direction, which in my case they do. So I'm going to click Save just in case my program crashes. That does happen. All right, so now I'm going to flip over to the manufacturing mode, just like we did for milling. Now I think it's a good time that we add our tool libraries and our machines. So we're going to go to the Manage menu. I'm going to go to my, let's go first to Post library. Let's add the ShopBot. So I already have it. but I'm going to assume that you guys don't have it. So click on local, right click in the white area in this region right here and click on import, go to your downloads and click on the Shopbot. Open it. I already have it. When you're done with that, click close. Then go back to manage and go to the tool library right there. Right click on local, click on import libraries, go to your downloads, and once again, click on the WHS Shopbot tools that you imported or downloaded from Schoology and click on open. Once again, I already have that. You'll see mine right there. And then you're going to click close. All right, we are set and ready to go. We're going to do our setup. Go ahead and make sure you're in inches. Please, can you just all change your active units to inches before we move ahead? All right, now we are going to click on the setup. This should seem familiar to you. Notice how it's trying to set up material for everything in our world here. We don't want that. So where it says model, click select and just pick all of the objects over here. Make sure you pick all of them, and you'll see it start to create a solid around this. So now I'm going to go to stock, and I'm going to change relative to fixed box size. All right, change your rounding to 0, and you should see your Z pointing up. And if it's not, okay, go to setup and change your orientation to Z-axis, and then click that Z up. Remember, we went over this. This was in your final exam for first semester. All right, so change your Z, make sure your Z is pointing up, but mine is. Okay. However, my X has to be pointing to the right, and my Y has to be flipped. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix mine, and then you guys are going to replicate what I have on my screen, just like that. So as you're looking at my screen, let's see here, this is 24 by 38. Yeah, let's see, this is 24 inches wide this way. So we're going to go ahead and bring this right to this corner. So take your stock point and bring it to that corner, okay? And then click OK. All right. So now what you're going to do is, I have a template for you as well. So now that this has been set up, you're going to call me over and I am going to check your setup. And this is the first video for laying out all of your toolpaths, or not your toolpaths. Toolpaths will be in the second video. This is laying out your stock, arranging everything, and because everybody might have a slightly different size stock, call me over so that I can check your Z direction and your X and Y's, and then move on to the next video once I check it. All right, thanks for watching. Remember to click save.